Fortnite's war against every video game started strong. Festival took over Rock Band, Rocket Racing fought Mario Kart, but 1 year later and some have flatlined. This wasn't discouraging. Fortnite has their sights on some of the biggest names in the industry. The message is they are coming for everyone. Now, this was not surprising. It was actually evident on day one of Fortnite Battle Royale. You see, BR itself wasn't an original idea. The very existence of the game is because they wanted to make their own version of PUBG, so Epic trendjacked at just the right time. Its massive success put Epic on defense. Every developer then dropped their own BR, like Apex Legends, and Fortnite was terrified of losing players to it. So they gave away their battle pass for free, and then the rest was easy. First, you take all of their most attractive features, pinging, looting vaults with a keycard, and most importantly, reboot vans. Then Call of Duty's Warzone dropped, and not long after, bounties you could track down, a gold system, even tactical sprint was praised by the players. Fortnite had cemented themselves as the #1 battle royale, but this moment right here created a mission. Why are we only making just one game? At this point, it was obvious that Fortnite was branching out of just being a BR game. They wanted the power to be transferred to the players. At the start, it was very simple. Players can make a death run or a custom map for the lobbies, very limited stuff. But in 2020, Fortnite took it too far. It was lockdown for the world, and the game Among Us started blowing up. A new plan was formed. When you understand the reason Fortnite was successful in the first place, it's because they took a game concept and made their own version, so this next part will make sense. A new top secret project was created, and by August, we were introduced to imposters. At first glance, it looked like a completely original take on the whodunit genre, until people actually started playing it. You were agents who had to complete tasks without getting killed by imposters, let you report bodies, call emergency meetings, and vote to eject people from the map. But when people looked at the mini-map and compared it to the layout of the Among Us map, it was way too similar. And when I say people looked at the map, I mean the developers of Among Us. They quickly caught on to the fact that Fortnite just ripped them off without asking for permission or even giving them a chance for a crossover. They immediately began calling Epic Games out, saying it was disappointing and would have just been cool if they collabed. So when caught in the headlights, Epic saw this and apologized. They talked to the Among Us devs privately, and it wasn't long before we got an official crossover. But it was at this exact moment Imposters was doomed. Updates stopped coming out, and 1 year later, it was permanently deleted from Fortnite. Epic learned their lesson, and now they would act on it. Fall Guys was another competitor, and instead of opening themselves up to controversy, Epic just straight up said, you know what, we're gonna buy you. They went on a spending spree, acquiring not just Fall Guys, but Rocket League, Harmonix, and revealing a partnership with LEGO. Over the next few years, they would start turning Fall Guys and Rocket League into free-to-play models just like Fortnite was. But they weren't done. In the background, they were taking developers from those games and putting them on secret projects, a way to turn Fortnite into the only game you needed to play. Every single Fortnite skin was turned into a LEGO minifigure to explore their open world survival game. Minecraft was sweating. Looking at the blocky mechanics, different biomes and enemies, or the ability to create your very own village brick by brick and live with your friends. Fortnite had declared war against every genre they can, and just a few days later, racing was under attack. Now, Rocket Racing was arguably one of the more original games of them all. This took inspiration from Mario Kart and GTA Racing, sure, but it was entirely made in the Rocket League universe, and even rewarded people who played the original game. Any car you own in Rocket League automatically becomes free to use in Fortnite, not just for the racing, but even normal Battle Royale. And unlike Mario Kart, fans are able to design their very own racetrack from scratch that anyone could play. But despite the fact Rocket Racing had lots of promise, the player count wasn't keeping up. And that's mainly because Fortnite's existing users didn't download the game to drive cars, it was to shoot guns and get eliminations. The player count fizzled quickly, and Fortnite secretly ended up dropping support for this mode. Musical games were now in the crosshairs, but Fortnite's directly took on Guitar Hero, or more so Rock Band. Once again, can't get called out for stealing if you buy the developers of Rock Band and some Guitar Hero games, and now full focus will be on Fortnite Festival. The mode had a full team behind it, dropping a handful of new songs every week. Not only that, but just like LEGO, Festival had its very own battle pass and seasons. Every few months, a new massive real-life artist will become the headliner with their own cosmetics and songs to use. While it's not the most popular mode in terms of players, it gets more updates than any other game outside of Battle Royale, all thanks to the star appeal of its battle passes. All the songs you buy also work as emotes you could use to make songs with friends, making it seamless with Battle Royale. It sounds like all these modes are great adaptations of their genres, but what happens when Epic's war backfires? Fall Guys was bought in 2021, and Epic was able to pump a ton of resources into Mediatonic. This allowed them to go free to play, add battle passes, and open the door to a ton of crossovers they could have never gotten before. But just 2 years later, Epic realized they had spent way too much money on their vision, and this would have a human toll.
Well, the Bay Area's Epic Games, maker of Fortnite, is laying off hundreds of employees. Workers were notified today about the job cuts. They'll affect about 16% of the workforce, around 830 people. In a letter to employees, CEO Tim Sweeney said he's trying to reverse what he called unrealistic spending.
That's right, over 800 people had lost their jobs as a result of the metaverse, and the hardest hit area was Mediatonic. Them buying the company was meant to secure their future. Instead, they were now gutting the team. Developers who were working on Fall Guys called it decimation, with barely anyone left, and rumors began to circle that the studio could close for good. Now, Epic Games was quick to tell us that Fall Guys was still a company priority, however, the work spoke for itself. After September 2023, Fall Guys would go from almost weekly updates to fans being lucky to see a news post every few months. It seems the true ambition was custom Fall Guys maps, and just like LEGO, they were taking every single outfit and turning it into a bean version for free. While it has been the most underwhelming of all of Fortnite's modes, there is still plenty of room to improve. Now, it might not have been these games which forced the layoffs at all. A lot of people claim it was Fortnite Creative. You see, in Epic's version of the metaverse, they want to be the ones controlling it, but not the ones actually building it. Instead, Fortnite is turning into a platform where anybody could load in, make their very own game, and just make a living from it. Games like Roblox do this by allowing people to add microtransactions, and it's very profitable, but it also means that most Roblox games are almost impossible to play without sinking hours into it or spending a few Robux to make progress. Now, Epic Games wants to avoid this at all costs. They want the player experience to come first. So they came up with a very, very risky solution. 40% of all Fortnite revenue will be sent to creative builders. The money is then distributed to whoever gets the most players and the longest playtime, causing map makers to directly compete with Epic for people's attention. It was the next generation of Fortnite creative, known as UEFN. When you now load into the game, you struggle to even find the actual Battle Royale modes, as they're hidden alongside a treasure trove of UEFN maps. Now, copying trends is up to the players. Only Up took the internet by storm, and within days, someone recreated it in Fortnite and got over 100,000 concurrent players. Epic wasn't the only one waging war on other games. Their players were now too. So, the lessons they learned from their new modes was that the players wanted shooter games. And when Call of Duty dropped with Rebirth, Fortnite met them with Reload. Set on a custom island inspired by Chapter 1, not only did this bank on fan nostalgia, it was a way to play BR without worrying about losing your progress every game. You could respawn as long as your team wasn't fully out, and they took the success and brought the OG map back permanently. The hits kept coming. Counter-Strike and Valorant have the most concurrent players in strategy shooter games, and when First Person was announced, it was only a matter of time before this happened. 4 years ago, seeing a tactical shooter in Fortnite, it would have been out of the question. No one was expecting this, and yet it's more proof that Epic are willing to take on any genre. There was no slowing down. I'm talking days later, their LEGO account posted a cryptic tweet. It was just an image, but in that photo, it looked oddly familiar to fans. They had recreated the poster for Grand Theft Auto 6 and done it to tease yet another brand new mode, LEGO Brick Life. Yeah, they were smart enough to capitalize on the meme that GTA 6 still wasn't out yet, using it to dunk on Rockstar, while also dropping their very own open-world sandbox mode. Now Fortnite players could run around a city, buy a house, getting a job, driving cars. Only problem is, it's Lego, so no guns allowed. Instead, they opted for a family-friendly version of GTA that parents could actually let their kids play. If anything, this entire mode's existence, it's just a flex from Epic that they could do anything. What will Epic accomplish next? Well, it's a new extraction mode. Escape from Tarkov is in crosshairs, but that doesn't mean it's the end of their life. Fortnite can copy, steal, or take inspiration, however you want to call it, from every game, but that doesn't mean it'll always be better. Ballistic doesn't feel as great as Counter-Strike, and Rocket Racing hardly made a dent with racing games. One thing is for sure, you'll be able to play every type of game in the coming years. The goal isn't to kill other games, but simply make them more accessible. It's been Tommy, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.